I'm David Campingbrah, and I'm here to tell you about a rather interesting off-roading and camping trip. One that started off quite inconspicuous, but evolved into a chronicle filled with many perils and danger. Oh, and of course, a precarious hitchhiker. You see, it begins when I'm making my way to camp. I see a man holding up his thumb, a hitchhiker. I slowed down to have a look, but then regret. I attempted to leave. Unfortunately, I stalled the car. He opened the door immediately. I had no choice. He was already in the car. I guess he was coming camping now. The hitchhiker was not the silent type. He proceeded to talk about a multitude of things. Most of it I didn't listen to, although one phrase he kept repeating stuck with me. He kept chanting,
"When it's time, I'm going to light the biggest fire the North has ever seen."
We weren't in the north, of course, but I chose not to correct him. We were actually travelling to Blackwood in regional Victoria, Australia. But perhaps we still could help out this hitchhiker with his fire. After a 20-minute drive with some nice scenery, we arrived at camp. Within 5 minutes, we got stuck.
Haven't even set up camp yet. 2 minutes in, this is what we're dealing with. A bogged Nathan.
We had to use the winch. The mud was soft and the tyres caked with mud. Tragic. Eventually, I was out of the worst of it, and we decided to start looking for wood. We thought we should head back the way we came. Unfortunately, this proved difficult. The incline that we so effortlessly descended earlier had become a nightmare to get back up. Failure and weakness loomed on our minds. A new plan had to be formulated. So, we picked a different line. We aired down the tyres, and we prayed. It was quite violent, but in the end, we prevailed. The words of the hitchhiker echoed in our memory. To build the greatest fire the North has ever seen. After some mild off-roading, we found some fallen trees. We were remarkably efficient. Soon we had an ample supply of firewood. Not just any firewood. Redwood, the favoured firewood of the locals. Most of the wood was quite large. We had to split it. Some attempts were unsuccessful. Failure again. Success at last. Australian redwood, you see. It's known for its remarkable resistance to splitting. But the hard work was not over yet. We wanted more, much more, the hitchhiker thought. He wanted a fire so big, so hot. Its mere existence would be an affront to Mother Nature, proving that even God himself is too powerless and feeble to stop it. So naturally, we went out looking for more wood. The conditions started out mild enough. However, soon enough the track got quite rough. We were sure we could pass it eventually. But quickly, unlikely, and speed was critical. There was no room to turn around, so we had to reverse. A dangerous prospect. It was a tight squeeze. Eventually we could turn around. We kept on looking, but no suitable trees appeared. After looking for some time, we came across a tiny bridge. It was quite picturesque, so we decided to frame a shot. We had a plan. First, the hitchhiker would hide under the bridge with his camera to catch us crossing. Another member would control the drone and pan across, showing the crossing from another angle. The plan was perfect. I have to commend the hitchhiker for his dedication. You see, a weaker man might have stopped when he realizes it's not, in fact, us approaching. But this was no weaker man. I wonder what the driver thought when he was just on a quiet drive in a remote part of the forest. Then he sees a man hiding under a bridge, recording him intensely. I'd imagine they locked their doors for the rest of their drive. We finally got the shot. After filming, we found a descent that looked quite promising. At the bottom, a large abundance of firewood, ample for the taking. The track was quite treacherous, but with our very masculinity on the line, we had no choice. We must descend. A stunning victory, with such grace. There was ample firewood. We collected it quickly, and finally we could head back to camp. By the time we got back, it was quite dark and cold. We got a small flame going immediately. We spared no expense. Kindling, cardboard, fire lighters, and even a healthy dose of petrol. The fire lighters were doing their job, but for some reason it wasn't catching the rest of the wood. We started to get nervous. Perhaps we got wood too wet. Even the petrol was not catching. Was all the wood we collected useless? Would we have to head home? Would the hitchhiker go on a murderous rampage? All valid questions. Questions, luckily, we didn't have to answer. Finally, combustion. We watched as the flames slowly grew in size and heat. It was progressing to a respectable fire. Some might even say a great fire. But was it the greatest fire the North has ever seen? Well, no, of course not. We weren't even in the north. Was it the biggest fire the South has ever seen? Well, also probably not. But was it the biggest fire Blackwood's ever seen in the last few weeks? Probably. And luckily, that was good enough. The hitchhiker and the rest of us could sleep easy. I'm David Campingbrah, and please like and subscribe for more videos.
That's insane, man.